ACP stands for autologous conditioned plasma, and it's ARTHREX's version of PRP. The wonderful thing about it, it's a double syringe that is a one spin, 5 minutes, and you have your product. And the wonderful thing about ACP is that we have very, very few leukocytes, and so that's one of the most advantageous aspects to having ACP. In preparation for the ACP, we like to clean the jugular area as good as we can. We do it at least 3 times with betadine and alcohol. Because it is a blood product, we want to be as clean as possible at all times. And that means at all places of harvest and preparation. After preparing the jugular, I go ahead and put sterile gloves on for harvesting the blood. This is how the ACP kit is marketed. So it's double sterile. So we go ahead and get our sterile syringe. 2 parts of the syringe, the outer and the inner. The outer harvests the blood, the inner will eventually harvest the plasma. We go ahead and harvest the blood up to the 16 mLs. Then after we harvest that, we put the red cap on and we spin it at the appropriate RPMs for 5 minutes and then harvest the resultant plasma. The beauty of having the headish centrifuge is that we can provide IRAP when we need it with the IRAP rotor, and then we can swap out the IRAP rotor for the ACP rotor, which we're going to do now. So you can do 2 different types of blood treatments with 1 centrifuge. So we want to have this interface inside so that it fits properly. Okay, so then we introduce the buckets for the ACP. They're a swing-out rotor. It's 4, depending on how many products of ACP or how many samples of ACP. If it's an odd number, that you're always going to have to counterbalance. In this case, we have just 1 sample. So we're going to take one of the buckets and put the counterbalance inside. Okay, we'll take one of the swing-outs, put your product in, and 1,300 RPMs for 5 minutes. Okay, so then after the centrifugation, go ahead and get your product. We're going to go ahead and to push down on the red and pull up on the inner tube. You go ahead and unscrew it and then use it at the point of care, or you can freeze it up to 6 months.